Okay, let's get into it. Why not that? Well, we start the show. We got to start with the beginning. The elite shows up in style with Jack Perry. Security tries to stop Perry, but the Bucks allow him through. They make their way to Tony Khan's office, and Alex Marvez tries to get the scoop on if Jack is back, and he will meet Tony Khan tonight in the middle of the ring. Crowd responds well to Perry. He gets Tony Khan to shake his hand, and then he punches him right in the kidney. I guess, I don't know, punches him somewhere. The Bucks then come out, and they hit him with a Meltzer driver. They leave as Tony Khan is laid out, and everyone, including TK's dad, comes to the ring. I'm going to start before I say anything. George, I want your thoughts.
It appears that people really loved it or they really hated it. I'm going to be that guy and say that I didn't love it, but I liked it a lot. There was a little something that felt a little off, whether it's the execution. And again, I don't want to knock anyone specifically, and so I'm just going to bring up an example. Sometimes you'll have a script, and a script can be the best script you've ever read in your entire life for a movie, one of the best movies, but maybe you don't really pick the right actor to play the role. And not that the actor is bad, it's just that maybe they need more experience. Maybe you're expecting a Tom Hanks, but you get like a Channing Tatum, who I love, by the way. Channing Tatum is so amazing. The Vow is one of my guilty pleasures, if nobody's ever seen it. The Vow. So again, but you know, I liked what I saw, and I really liked it. There was something just a little off as far as the execution, as far as the facial reactions, the tone. This is what, if it was done with all that, it would have been on a WWE level of cinema, they like to call it. When Tony's dad came out at the end, I absolutely loved it. I think it added a realism. Freaking the NFL has an article on the NFL.com website about it, which to me, I think that's a big deal. I just wish, and not just the people involved, but I feel like the production aspect could have been a little bit more theatrical or dramatic, especially when Tony's dad came out. But overall, I mean, I'll give it a big thumbs up. I just wish I could give it an even bigger thumbs up, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, Jimmy, I have my thoughts. I know you have yours. I do want to read the super chat from Ralph the Ace, who is absolutely the ace, because literally waited the entire show to get the super chat in.
Thanks for waiting. Yeah.
Hey guys, maybe I'm alone based on social reaction, but something felt off about that Khan angle. Dad coming out was good, but something missing, in my opinion.
Yep.
Jimmy Korderas, moment of truth. What did you think?
It was off. There was something off, and Ralph, it was emotion. I didn't see really any emotion in Tony Khan's face. When you have somebody who's the owner, who's the boss, he has to react accordingly, and I don't think he did. He was still playing. Again, I've never met the man personally, but he came off as kind of mild-mannered and didn't look like the authority figure that he should be. That's how it felt to me, anyways. If you're the boss, I know the other name we can't mention from the old regime and the other guys. You know, when he came out, you knew that he was the boss. You felt it. You knew he was the guy in charge, and whatever you did to him, there was always consequences. This didn't feel the same way. Yes, it was an interesting angle, but it lacked emotion for me because I wasn't getting emotion from Tony. His face was kind of like he was a little too deadpan, if that makes sense.
But were you getting that emotion from Jack Perry? How do you think he played his role?
He was okay in his role. He wasn't taking in the reaction from the crowd like I think he should have. He could have absorbed a lot of energy from that, play it off. I guess beating up the authority figure and the boss is making him the heel by default, and playing in with the Bucks there and that sort of stuff. But I thought a lot of the moment was lost at the beginning of the show by having them arrive all together. That was completely lost. Leave it till the end of the show so you can make it a surprise. After the Moxley match, we don't know he's there. I get the idea of showing the Bucks showing up with Okada because they're the EVPs and all that sort of stuff. And maybe you could show that. Let them come in like normal and whisper in the security's ear, blah, 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 blah. You don't know what it is they said. They walk right in, security disperses. Something along those lines. And then after the Moxley match, All of a sudden, Jack Perry's out there. No music, no nothing. He walks to the ring, takes the microphone, and then he cuts his promo and calls out Tony Khan. Something to make it a surprise as opposed to giving it away at the beginning that he's here. Oh, no. I know what they were trying to say. Oh, something's going to happen tonight because he's here. But still, you lose that surprise element. It's like losing the pop that he could have got. There was a moment lost there, in my opinion.
I also want to say that this thing from the very beginning to the very end, I loved every second of it. I thought they knocked it out of the park. I thought it was exactly what you wanted. I think Jack Perry coming in early and being presented as the guy that isn't allowed to be there, security trying to stop him. The only reason he can get through is because he's got some friends who can get him in. I think teasing us that later tonight, Jack Perry in the ring with Tony Khan. So, like, you can't go anywhere. I mean, you have to see this. This is what we've been saying since this whole thing started. I want to see them both in the middle of the ring. I thought that was great. I thought that the playing to the fans and making us like him at first before hitting Tony Khan was great. I think the fact that the Bucks hit the Meltzer driver on him, I think that was great. His dad coming out was great. Was Tony Khan the greatest actor in the world? No. But I think that's why he's never on TV. I think that's why he stays off TV. But you need him here. You needed him for this. And so it actually makes me appreciate that he doesn't try to be the authority figure or try to do this stuff more. I think the fans were into Jack Perry. I think him coming out to no music made him feel like more of a renegade. I feel like personally that they have somehow played this perfectly, and Jack Perry could be a massive star when all this is said and done. I think certain people feel one way or the other about him at this point, and they're not going to change. But I think that the volume of their reaction is going to go up, and I think the people who support him are going to double down on him. I think this was perfect. How do you not want to tune in and see what happens next?
Well, let's hope that's what happens. Let's try to turn a negative into a positive. And if that's what happens, then great on them. I hope they do. And I hope that does happen. I'm just not convinced it will, because the reaction he got was somewhat mixed and a little more tepid than I expected. I thought there was going to be a lot more reaction. I'm glad he didn't wear that Crimea River jacket, because that would have got people chanting the other guy. And you don't want that on your television. And I know, that's where this all originated. Exactly. Well, you don't want that.
But I really want to see, first off, if Tony Khan is going to be on TV in any way for the NFL draft tomorrow, he better be in a neck brace.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to have the NFL article come up. But yeah, honestly, if I'm forced to say something or something about it, I'm going to say, like, I honestly, I really liked it. I think a little disagreement. I think TK was the least of the problem. I think he was just selling it as accordingly. You can even see him take the move because his back and his face was kind of in the position that he was in, and he just sold it at the end. I just feel like this to me is a big deal, and I think it could have been a bigger deal. I think it could have been the young Jack Perry coming out there and cut the wrestling promo, coming out there and saying, you know what, you cost me 8 months of my career. Do you have any idea what it's like to sit at home for 8 months, coming out there and seeing everything around me in my personal life crumble, but also everything else? And not to necessarily mention, CM Punk, but just kind of saying, like, and then I look over and he's an even bigger star. And here I am as the victim, playing the victim card, and I'm the one that being blamed for everything, but you know what? I'm back. Let bygones be bygones. Let's just, it is what it is. Let's just move it into past, and then everything happening. I just feel like it could have been a bigger deal, and from what it was. And I am excited. I am going to tune in next week. Not that I wouldn't tune in anyways, but I am excited to see what's going to happen next week, because I do want to hear Jack Perry follow up on maybe hearing why he did everything that he did, kind of maybe going off of what I just said, telling him about, well, why wouldn't I beat up Tony Khan? You're the reason why I'm in my position that I'm in right now. You did this to yourself. I didn't do this to you. You're the one who suspended me. I didn't suspend myself. You're the, it could kind of give that kind of heel mentality of, I mean, he's right, but he's also like a prick about it,
Right. A real quick question to both of you guys again. Now, next week when he comes out, he's affiliated with the Bucks and Okada. Does he stay dressed the same way he is because that's him? or do you see him wearing a suit?
I want him to stay the same.
I think he'd stay the same.
Yeah,
I
no,
think
just a
he'd
curious
get
question. I'm just,
I mean, in fact, if anything, I hope he starts to rub them the wrong way. I hope he becomes like I'm not going to say he's Stone Cold. Don't pump the brakes. Everyone's going to hear me. And that's what they're going to hear, even though I'm prefacing. I'm not saying the same thing. But I hope he gets that kind of vibe of don't trust anyone. I'm taking on the world. I'm in it for me. And you know what I mean? That same kind of mentality. Now, again,
and have the Bucks
Stone Cold.
have the Bucks second guessing themselves for hiring him back.
Yes, and make him regret it. And so then he becomes the guy that, oh, you're a good guy, I'm going to knock your block off. Oh, you're a bad guy, I might knock your block off too. I don't care. I'm taking on everybody. Yeah. I think that would be the best thing for him personally. But I don't know if that's what I'll do. You got to tune in to find out. I'm excited. I think it's interesting. Like I said, I think if you hated him before this, you probably still hate him. If you love him before this, you probably still love him. But I got a feeling those cheers are going to be a lot louder than they ever would have been had he just left Jurassic Express. And you know what I mean? I think that we're buying in one way or the other. So
and not drag this on any longer. At least he's eliciting an emotion from the crowd, and that's the main thing. Regardless of whether you cheer or boo, you're getting a reaction. That's what you want.
Yeah, it will be interesting to hear how they react outside of Daly's place, though. That'll be the very interesting one.